Observations on torcorotorid acorn worms, Hemichordata aeternonusta, from the North Atlantic with descriptions of a new genus
and 3 new species!
The 3 new taxa cluster with previously described species in the family Torcorotoridae. The discovery of these deep-sea hemichordates is a huge deal to the scientific community because they are close to the evolutionary link between vertebrates like a slug and vertebrates like you.
Enteronusts have some anatomical features that vertebrates have, like pharyngeal gill pores, dorsal hollow nerve cord, and a notochord. So even though there are only a small number of species in the group, they continue to attract a large amount of attention from the scientific community.
So who are these 3 new members of the family Torcorotoridae?
Yoda purpurata, the purple Yoda worm,
Trigavellum cinnabarinum, the cinnabar worm,
and Alapassus isidis, the mystery worm. Over the course of several years, both manned and remotely operated vehicles captured still and video images of enteronusts living in the deep North Atlantic.
At each site, enteronusts were recorded on camera and then collected with a suction sampler or frequently a box spore. DNA was extracted from an ethanol-fixed portion of each worm and was subsequently amplified, sequenced, and analyzed.
The worms were phylogenetically placed through nucleotide analysis and named. Unlinked but concatenated complete 18S and partial 16S nucleotide sequences of hemichordates and outgroup echinoderms were used to determine that there was a new species.
Yoda purpurata is the first hermaphroditic hemichordate discovered. This trait likely evolved as a response to low population densities. Their wings contain multiple ovaries and testes, and scientists believe that they may shed their gametes within a shared mucus cocoon.
It's hard to find a date with a maximum of 29 torcorotorid worms per 1,000 meters squared. Hermaphroditism increases the chances of a purple Yoda worm finding a suitable mate.
Trigavellum cinnabarinum is named for the red-orange color of cinnabar. The cinnabar worm was found browsing the seafloor exposed like Yoda purpurata.
Species can be identified by the conspicuous buccal muscles on either side of the mouth, which along with highly developed proboscis nerves allows the worm to browse in a pattern.
Browsing in a spiral pattern keeps the worm on a nutrient-rich sediment patch for as long as possible. The Yoda purpurata has a simpler neuromuscular system and cannot sense its environment nor control its movement enough to browse in a regular pattern.
The species Alapassus isidis is a mysterious worm. This light yellow acorn worm has a more compact body structure than the other species in its genus.
Unlike the other newly discovered species, A. isidis was found floating approximately 1 meter above the seafloor. Other than that, not much is known about the species. Scientists don't know how it got off the ground, whether it burrows, what it eats, or if there are external ovaries present like a similar species in its genus, Alapassus arentiacus.
The discovery of these worms has provoked questioning.
Why would worms browse epibenthycally when this would expose them to predation?
What kind of defense would these worms have?
How would a worm alternate between crawling and floating?
Answers to these questions will no doubt be revealed when more worms are found.